Please like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps the channel.
Welcome back for another deep dive. Tonight, we're going global. We're diving into the world of ghosts and monsters.
Not just any ghosts and monsters.
Right.
What's fascinating is that we're looking at them across cultures.
Yeah.
And to guide us, we'll be using urban legends across cultures, exploring common themes of ghosts and monsters.
This source really takes us deep into how different cultures explain the unknown.
Yes.
And what their stories can tell us about their history and their fear.
Exactly.
And their beliefs. I'm already getting chills. So where should we start? Ghosts or monsters?
Let's begin with ghosts.
Okay.
They seem to be a universal phenomenon.
Yeah, for sure.
But the reasons why cultures believe in ghosts and the specific forms these ghosts take, well, that's where things get interesting.
Okay, so ghosts. Spirits of the departed. What can you tell us about how different cultures view these entities?
Well, often ghost stories are tied to cultural attitudes towards death and the afterlife.
Okay.
They could be cautionary tales, or ways to reinforce societal values, or even attempts to process collective trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's start in East Asia.
Okay.
I'm thinking of the Japanese onryō, those vengeful spirits.
Right.
The source mentions Oiwa as a particularly chilling example. What makes her story so compelling?
Well, Oiwa's story is a powerful example of how these legends can be used to uphold societal norms.
Yeah.
She was betrayed and murdered by her husband.
Wow.
And her spirit, it seeks revenge. It's a stark warning against dishonorable actions, especially within the family unit.
Yeah, it really makes you think twice about breaking a promise.
Right.
That's for sure. But then you have a completely different kind of ghost in China, right?
Yes.
The hungry ghosts.
Yes, the hungry ghosts.
They're not seeking revenge, but something else entirely.
Exactly. Hungry ghosts are prominent in Chinese Buddhist tradition.
Okay.
And they're driven by this insatiable hunger and unfulfilled desires. They're thought to be the spirits of those who live greedy or selfish lives.
And they serve as a reminder of the importance of, well, living virtuously.
So in one culture, ghosts are driven by this thirst for vengeance.
Yes.
And in another, by insatiable desire. It seems like these stories are telling us something about the fears and anxieties of those societies.
Precisely. And it's not just limited to East Asia. Western cultures have their own unique ghost lore. Think of the Tower of London.
Ooh, the Tower of London.
Steeped in history, said to be haunted by figures like Anne Boleyn.
Oh, Anne Boleyn. Her story is a tragic one, executed by her own husband, King Henry VIII. It's fascinating to me that her ghost is tied to a specific location, you know? A place marked by this historical tragedy.
It's as if the trauma of those events has been imprinted on the very stones of the tower.
Wow.
And the ghosts are a manifestation of that unresolved anguish. And it's not just Anne Boleyn.
Right.
Think of the Lady in White figure, a recurring motif in Western cat stories.
The lady in white, always dressed for a wedding that never happened,
Yeah.
where life tragically cut short. What is it about this figure that resonates across so many cultures?
I think the Lady in White often represents betrayal,
Okay.
loss, and the fear of being forgotten. She's a warning, perhaps, about the dangers of misplaced trust or the fragility of life.
So we've got ghosts driven by vengeance, unfulfilled desires, and even the longing to be remembered. Let's move on to South Asia,
Okay.
where we encounter the Chudale. This is a particularly terrifying figure, isn't it?
The Chudale is a vengeful spirit from Indian folklore, often depicted as a woman who died in childbirth or suffered a tragic fate, and she's said to haunt crossroads and forests, preying on the living. What's particularly chilling is that her appearance is often described as grotesque and distorted, highlighting the violence and injustice she suffered in life.
Yeah, that's a stark contrast to the often ethereal and beautiful depictions of ghosts in other cultures.
It is, and I think it speaks to the societal anxieties surrounding the mistreatment of women.
Yeah.
The Chudale is a powerful symbol of female rage and the potential consequences of neglecting or harming women within a society.
So ghosts can be warnings, reminders of societal values, or even embodiments of collective trauma.
Yes.
It seems like these stories are more than just spooky tales. They offer a window into a culture's beliefs, fears, and anxieties about life, death, and what might lie beyond.
Exactly. And now, if you're ready, we can move on to monsters. Creatures that often embody our fears in a more tangible, visceral way.
Lead the way. I'm ready for the monster mash.
From vengeful spirits to hungry ghosts.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how different cultures envision their ghosts.
It really is.
But now let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And delve into the realm of monsters.
Oh, I'm ready.
Are you?
Yeah. So what makes a monster?
Well,
monstrous?
that's a good question.
Is it just about being scary?
Right.
Or is there something more to it?
Well, monsters, unlike ghosts who are rooted in the spirit world, they're often seen as physical embodiments of fear. They tap into our primal anxieties.
Okay.
About the unknown, the uncontrollable,
Right.
things that lurk in the shadows.
So while ghosts might remind us of our mortality
Yes.
and the consequences of our actions,
Mm-hmm.
monsters represent something a bit more
A bit more primal.
primal. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
They represent the things that go bump in the night,
Yeah.
the creatures that threaten our safety
Right.
and challenge our understanding of the natural world,
For sure.
our source, urban legends across cultures. Exploring common themes of ghosts and monsters, it takes us on this global tour of these monstrous creatures,
Yeah.
and it's quite a ride.
Well, let's start the tour. Where should we head first?
How about Latin America?
Okay. Latin America.
We can start with a creature that's become infamous in recent decades, the chupacabra.
The chupacabra, a blood-sucking beast,
Yes.
said to prey on livestock.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting that this legend,
Yes.
it emerged relatively recently, like in the 1990s?
That's what makes it so fascinating.
Right.
The chupacabra seems to be a product of modern anxieties,
Okay.
particularly those related to ecological disruption and economic instability.
Right.
Puerto Rico, where the legend originated,
Yeah.
it was undergoing significant changes at that time.
Right.
And the chupacabra might be seen as a manifestation of those anxieties.
So it's not just a scary monster.
Yeah.
It's a symbol of a culture grappling with change and uncertainty.
That's a great way to put it.
But Latin America also has monsters with roots that go much deeper, right?
They do.
Like La Llorona,
Ah, yes.
the weeping woman.
La Llorona, her story is steeped in Aztec mythology.
Wow.
And has resonated throughout Latin America for centuries. She's a figure of immense sorrow, eternally searching for the children she drowned in a fit of despair.
It's a heart-wrenching story.
It is.
But what deeper meaning might it hold?
Well, La Llorona embodies the consequences of unchecked emotions,
Okay.
the dangers of grief and guilt, and the importance of family. She serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the devastating impact our actions can have on those we love.
Okay. From the blood-sucking chupacabra
Right.
to the mournful La Llorona,
Yes,
Latin America has a fascinating array of monsters.
it does.
Where should we head next on our global tour?
Let's journey across the Atlantic to Europe,
Okay.
home to some of the most iconic monsters in Western folklore, werewolves and vampires.
Werewolves and vampires, classic horror movie material.
Right.
But I'm guessing their roots go much deeper than Hollywood.
Absolutely. Werewolves, with their origins in ancient Greece and Rome,
Mm-hmm.
they represent the fear of losing control
Right.
of our own humanity, giving way to something wild and bestial.
It's that fear of the beast within,
Yes,
the primal urges that we try to keep in check.
exactly. And then there are vampires,
Yeah.
creatures initially associated with disease and decay in Eastern European folklore.
Okay.
But then thanks to figures like Bram Stoker
Yeah.
and his Dracula,
Right.
the vampire was transformed into this seductive predator, a figure of both danger and desire.
So vampires went from being symbols of death and disease to becoming embodiments of forbidden desires and the allure of the unknown.
Precisely. And I think that speaks to the adaptability of these monsters. They
Yeah.
evolve over time, reflecting the changing anxieties and fascinations of each era.
Right.
Oh.
Right. We've explored the monsters of Latin America
Yes.
and Europe.
We have.
Now I'm curious about what creatures lurk in the shadows of Africa.
Ooh, Africa has a rich tradition of monster lore.
I bet.
One particularly intriguing example is the Tokolosha from Zulu mythology.
Okay, the Tokolosha.
Yes.
I've heard it can be summoned to cause harm to others.
It can.
What did that tell us about the culture that created it?
Well, the Tokolosha reflects societal anxieties about jealousy,
Okay.
betrayal, and the misuse of power.
Right.
It highlights the importance of community harmony
Okay.
and the potential dangers of harboring ill will towards others.
So it's like a cautionary tale?
It is a cautionary tale.
Okay.
And it's also fascinating because it's often said to be a physical creature, something that can be seen
Oh, wow.
and even interacted with.
That makes it all the more terrifying.
It does.
It's not just an abstract fear.
Yeah.
It's something that could potentially lurk right around the corner.
Right.
But Africa is also home to monsters that tap into a sense of wonder and mystery, right? Like the Mokulambembe?
Oh, yes, the Mokulambembe. This creature, said to inhabit the Congo River Basin, is often described as a living dinosaur, a relic of a bygone era.
It's like a creature straight out of Jurassic Park.
It is.
But with roots in African oral traditions, what makes it so compelling?
Well, the Mokulambembe represents the allure of the unexplored.
Okay.
The possibility that there are still mysteries hidden in the world.
Yeah.
Creatures beyond our current understanding.
Right.
It's a blend of ancient beliefs and modern fascination.
That's so cool.
A reminder that there's still much we don't know about our planet.
Okay, from mischievous spirits to dinosaur-like beasts.
Yes.
Africa offers quite a range of monsters.
It does.
Now let's head to Asia, a continent with a diverse array of myths and legends.
Ooh. Asia is a treasure trove of monster lore.
I bet.
One creature that stands out is the aswang from Filipino folklore.
The aswang.
Yes, it's a shapeshifter, often taking the form of a human,
Okay.
but with this terrifying hunger for flesh, especially the vulnerable.
The aswang, I've heard it's especially feared for its ability to blend in,
Yes.
to appear as someone you might trust.
That's what makes it so unsettling.
Yeah.
It reflects anxieties about deception, betrayal, and the fear of outsiders.
Okay.
It speaks to the importance of community
Right.
and the suspicion of those who don't conform.
So the aswang is a monster that preys on both the body and the social fabric.
Yes, very well said.
But Asia also has monsters that are known for their beauty and allure.
Right.
Or like the fox spirits?
Yes, fox spirits, whether it's the Chinese hulijing or the Japanese kitsune, they're fascinating creatures.
I've heard of those.
They're known for their shape-shifting abilities,
Okay.
their cunning intelligence,
Right.
and their mastery of illusion. They can be benevolent tricksters,
Okay.
helping those in need, or they can be seductive temptresses,
Oh, wow.
leading people astray with their charm.
It sounds like you never quite know what you're going to get with a fox spirit.
You don't!
They embody both danger and allure.
Yeah.
What might that duality tell us?
Well, I think it speaks to the complexities of human nature.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that good and evil, beauty and danger
Right.
can often coexist within the same being.
Yeah.
It also reflects a cultural fascination with the supernatural,
Okay.
with creatures that possess powers beyond our comprehension.
Okay, we've traveled the globe encountering this diverse array of monsters,
We have.
from the blood-sucking chupacabra to the seductive kitsune.
Yes.
It's clear that these creatures represent more than just our fears. They reflect our values, our anxieties, and our attempts to make sense of a world that can often feel chaotic and unpredictable.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Oh, good.
But before we wrap up our monster mash,
Okay.
let's take a quick detour to our own backyard, the American Midwest.
The Midwest. It doesn't always strike me as a hotbed of monster lore.
Right.
What kind of creatures lurk in the heartland?
You might be surprised, the Midwest has its own unique blend of monsters,
Okay.
drawing from Native American folklore, European traditions, and local legends.
Okay.
We've got everything from the Michigan Dogman,
Okay.
a creepy canine cryptid said to roam the woods.
To the Wendigo,
Yes.
a creature from Algonquian folklore that embodies greed and cannibalism.
Yes.
A chilling reminder of the dangers of winter's harsh grip.
And then there's the classic ghost story of Resurrection Mary,
Oh, yeah?
a young woman who supposedly haunts a stretch of road in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Her tale, a blend of real-life tragedies and the classic vanishing hitchhiker motif.
It's fascinating how even in a region known for its practicality, there's still room for these stories to take root and thrive.
It speaks to the human need for storytelling, for finding ways to explain the unexplainable,
Right.
and to connect with the past.
Okay, we've gone from vengeful spirits in Japan to shame-shifting creatures in the Philippines to mysterious beasts roaming the American Midwest.
We have.
Expert speaker with all this variety, are there any common threads that tie these legends together? Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from ghosts tied to specific locations to monsters that embody our deepest fears. Are there any common themes that connect these seemingly diverse legends?
Absolutely. One of the most prominent themes, I think, is the fear of the unknown.
Okay.
Whether it's the mysteries of the afterlife or the unexplored corners of our world, or even the darker impulses within ourselves, these stories offer a way to grapple with the things that lie beyond our understanding.
It's like using storytelling to shine a light into the shadows,
Exactly.
even if that light reveals something frightening.
Yes, and these stories aren't just about scaring us. Many of them also serve as cautionary tales, reinforcing societal values and moral lessons.
Right, like the onryō, the vengeful spirit from Japan.
Yes,
Her story is a stark reminder of the importance of honor and duty,
absolutely.
particularly within families.
Yes, or the hungry ghosts of Chinese tradition.
Right.
A chilling warning against greed and selfishness.
Yeah.
These legends, they provide a framework for understanding the consequences of our actions, both in this life and perhaps beyond.
It's fascinating how these stories can blend entertainment with moral instruction.
Yeah.
But I'm also struck by how deeply intertwined these legends are with the cultures that created them.
Yes, that's another key theme. These stories are deeply rooted in a culture's history, environment, and worldview.
Okay.
They reflect a community's values, anxieties, and its unique way of understanding the world.
So it's not just about universal fears. It's about how those fears are shaped and expressed through the lens of a particular culture.
Precisely. Think about the Tokolosha in Zulu mythology. It reflects specific anxieties about witchcraft, jealousy, and the importance of community harmony themes that are deeply rooted in Zulu culture.
Right.
Or the Mokelembembe in the Congo, a creature that blends traditional African beliefs with a more modern fascination with cryptozoology.
Right.
It shows how these stories can evolve and adapt, reflecting new influences and ways of seeing the world.
We've explored ghosts and monsters from all corners of the globe.
We have.
It's been a truly eye-opening journey.
Mm-hmm.
But before we wrap up, I have to ask, with all these incredible legends, is there one that particularly stands out to you?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
There's so many fascinating examples, but if I had to choose, I think the story of the kitsune, the Japanese fox spirit, really exemplifies the power and allure of these legends.
The kitsune, I can see why you choose that one. They're such enigmatic creatures,
They are.
capable of both great kindness and mischief.
Yeah.
What is it about them that fascinates you?
Well, the kitsune embodies that perfect blend of allure and danger, beauty and deception that makes these legends so captivating.
Right.
They can be powerful allies aiding humans with their supernatural abilities,
Right.
but they can also be cunning tricksters leading people astray with their illusions.
It's that duality, that unpredictable nature that makes them so intriguing.
Exactly.
You never quite know what to expect.
You don't. And I think that reflects a broader truth about these legends.
Okay.
They remind us that the world is full of mystery, that not everything is as it seems,
Yeah.
and that there are forces at play that we may never fully understand.
So while these stories might entertain us, frighten us, or even make us laugh,
Yeah.
they also offer a glimpse into the vastness of human imagination and our enduring fascination with the unknown.
I couldn't agree more. They remind us that there's still magic in the world, even if it sometimes comes with sharp teeth and a mischievous grin.
Well said. Listeners, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and maybe even left you with a few chills down your spine. What are some of the urban legends you've encountered? And what do they reveal about your own culture or community? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep sharing those stories. They're a vital part of what makes us human.
Please like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps the channel.
Okay.
Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the shadows.